LivingOS was started in the pandemic. I started to write one article every day to answer the questions my friends sent to me, ranging from relationship to life to work, and it's really about my curiosity, some things that I want to share, something that no one has talked about. And that authenticity, that drive brought me through 200 plus days, maybe almost 300 days. I lost count. I was writing, and then around day 66, I got so many letters and encouragement about what potential, like what could we do next. So we started the LivingOS University. It is a way for me to share my top of mind with people who are interested in becoming better, getting the system, getting the coaching that I offer in a more accessible way. We've been running LivingOS University for a couple months, and then we realized that there is something in it, but there is something even more powerful, which is the cohort model. Having a group of people learning together and having a host, a coach who let this community grow and flourish. And that's seeded LivingOS Fellowship, which we have been thinking since September Q3 2020 and finally brought to life at the end of the year. Aside from that, we have tested many segments, many elements of the fellowship before. Things like the group mentoring, which we ran in the Facebook group. Things like the Facebook Talk Show, where I interview people and really get deep into their stories in front of the live stream audience. We also started a podcast, thanks to Elaine for selling me on the potential of having a podcast. We really enjoy doing it. It's a way for me to catch up with people I love. It's Elaine, it's Chris, it's people that I just want to, share my thoughts and get their take, and also help people do the same, help our listeners do the same. As we scale, there are ways where there are some medium that really stuck with me. I am more of a writer type. That's why I have a book. That's why we have the newsletter. And I really like sharing my message through those medium. Video and audio wasn't my strength. I'm growing, and I think we are heading towards a really good pace. So always appreciate if you have any feedback for creative like this video you're watching. And then we had the mentorship program in around October. It was our way to bridge the gap between our community. We have people from really early stage in their career to people who have made it, people who have some track record. We want to help them help each other out, and that's why we have this mentorship pairing program. Johan put a lot of effort into making sure the perfect pair, and we have heard so many good feedback from both mentees and mentors, respectively. But we ultimately decided to sunset that project because we didn't have enough feedback. Right. And we thought it would be a great add-on to the fellowship. And that's why I said many elements, like the group mentoring, the talk show style Q&A, and the mentorship program are all going to be folded under the fellowship. And then we rebranded because it was just me hashing together some stock images before using some really basic font which are not optimal, and then we have Andy joined who helped us redesign the entire brand to really question what is our core value, what kind of message we want to present, and then we have our message of being the oasis in the desert, being the fountain, the energy source that gives you inspiration when you feel that you're in this long journey and no one is aside. And then we finally hosted a couple offline events starting in October, November, and then January. It is our way to really meet the people who have been following us for a while, a few months, maybe a year since I was doing Perfect College at like Johan. There are people who I just really want to see in person and having this offline connection is really authentic. It makes the online offering a bit more real. Towards the end of 2020, we launched the LivingOS Fellowship, a group coaching cohort of 8 to 11 people who were wondering the same question. What does it mean to live a good life? And how can we do it? We touch upon how to tackle on the biggest accounting, what are the 12 favorite problems and how to frame them correctly. And also, how can you really understand, know, and love yourself? We eventually bring all of these lessons together to really help them live out the system. So this year, we also added another component, which is the alumni mentorship. People who have graduated from previous cohorts can come back and stay in touch share their experiences about how fellowship has changed them and inspired and guide the next generation of cohorts to do the same. Looking forward, 2021, we are in a good shape with a team of 5, Sherry heading the Oolong chat, and People Champion answering questions, leading workshops. We have Eva, who is making this awesome video, creating all the designs you see on our social media. And we have Juhan, who is heading the fellowship mission, making sure that we have the best cohort, and also taking care of a lot of community from the podcast content to the fellowship wisdom. And there's me and Chris. We are co-hosting the podcast and just finalizing and making each cohort of the fellowship better and better. Super excited about what is coming next, and I can't wait to share the next phase with you. So I'll leave it here. Have a good year.